Okay, so we're up to Siman Samach Zayin. It's Siman with one sif in it. Din Sofik im Kor Krishma. What happens if it's a Sofik whether you said Krishma? So it says in the Mechaber, Sofik im Kor Krishma. A person is unsure, did he say Krishma? If you're not sure whether he said Krishma, then it's a mitzvah min Torah, and therefore you've got to repeat. But the Chiddush is, says the Mechaber, you not only repeat Krishma, but you say the brachas before and after. Even though normally with brachas, Sofik, you don't repeat. And the Mishnah will deal with it, and we'll see there are those who argue. But if you're Sofik, whether you said Krishma, you not only repeat Krishma, but you repeat the brachas before and afterwards. Aval, says the Mechaber, im yodeh shekara, you know that you did say Krishma, but you're just masupuk whether you said the brachas before and after, then you don't go back. Yeah? So, fine. So let's do the Mishnah Berurah. So you've got Nalef, Krishma. B'sham mitzvahs deraisa, and so too with other mitzvahs deraisa, where you're mechuyev to do it, misofik. Pasuk le'el, b'simin yuzayin sif gimel, le'inyan tumtum, with regard to a tumtum. That means someone who's the simon zachros v'nakvus are covered over. You're not sure if he's a man or a woman. After chayev basitzis or b'yoyredeya linin milaban drogenis etc. V'chein kol ki gavna the lo yivarich ala mitzvah. In those situations, you're not sure. Maybe he's not mechuyev in tzitzis. Maybe he is mechuyev in tzitzis. So you got to put on tzitzis, but you don't make a bracha. Ki ha-brachas hem drabanan. The brachas are drabanan usfeika lekula. Ach yesh paiskim shemachalkin ben heicha shehasofek hu im mechuyev klal b'hamitzvah kagoy nahisha kosavnu. For example, in the Tumtum Androgenes, there's a sofek, is he or she, whatever, mechuyev in the mitzvah, or ben heicha shemechuyev, but a person is definitely mechuyev ela she'eni yedea im also mitzvah. T'oz sorech levorech oleh gam kein. So some paiskim make a chiluk. Yeah, they make a chiluk between whether a person is, I don't know whether this being is mechuyev, or whether or not he is definitely mechuyev, but just there's a sofik. Yeah? So what's the svara? It says, there's very geshmaka prima godim. It says, look up for no one, but bir hachiluk, konsa prima godim, she'im vadai mechuyev b'mitzvahs. If the person is definitely mechuyev b'mitzvahs, v'lo yodeh im osah, yesh ktsas chazok d'meikar shadayin lo osah. There is more of a presumption that he hasn't said it. And he's still got a chiyuv to do it. Ve'ein sofek kiyum ha-mitzvah moitzi midei vadai. Chiyuv sh'hoy olav. Masha'en kein tumtum she'sofek mechuyev klal. Masha'en kein the tumtum, he might not be mechuyev in the first place. Oitam kosu shom, the Prima Godim gives another reason. She'ish raglaim l'dova sh'leikar. There is a presumption that he hasn't said it. Sha'im hoya kairo yozoichazois. He would have remembered. Okay. Well, Lefizeh, back to the Mishnah Berurah. We're 1, 2, 3, 4 lines down in the Mishnah Berurah. Well, Lefizeh, lulav oishoifa b'yom aleph. And therefore you come home from shul, I don't know, the first day sukkahs, and you say, oh boy, I can't remember, did I shake lulav today? Then they'll say that you actually have to not only do the mitzvah, but with a bracha. Because of our Prima Godim, the Mekesef Mishnah, b'shem harashba, v'chein mogen avram b'shem harivosh, l'kam l'simin tovkov pehei, ois gimel mukach, lo yisriru l'chuluk zeh. They don't like this chiluk. Ela tomid b'li bracha. At the end of the day, brachas are drabanan, and if you're masupuk, whether you say the bracha, they will be of the opinion that you do not say the bracha again. V'gam me'agra b'simin zeh, muchach to lo yisriru l'chiluk zeh, me'viu lo sheifu lulav, b'yom aleph, ben hashmoshes to kula amonoitel b'li bracha, you do it without a bracha, ki b'zeh ha'sofik hu chayiv atzor klal b'amitzvah, because you might not be chayiv in the mitzvah b'chlal now. Okay. So the kids, what have we said? If you're not sure whether you say Krishma, you've got to repeat Krishma. According to the Mechaber, you repeat Krishma with the brachas before and afterwards. But if you're not, the Mechaber continues and says, if you know you said Krishma, but you're just not sure about the brachas, then Eina Chayzim Mevarich. With regard to lulav and things like that, so then some make a distinction between whether a person is mechuyev at all. For example, a tumtum wouldn't make a bracha because there's a sofik about the person whether he's got a chiv in the first place. In that case, he wouldn't make a bracha. But in a situation where a person is mechuyev, it's just that he can't remember if he's shook lulav or not, then he would make a bracha. However, the second opinion, the Kes Mishnah and the God and others say, no, when it comes to brachas, if there's a sofik in the bracha, you never make a bracha. Sofik bracha is lahakal. Okay, so if a person is masupik, whether he said Krishma, we said Chayze v'Kaira. Says the Mishnah Berurah Sif Cotton Base, Hatam, the Kaimel on Krishma deraisa. We hold that saying Kriya Shema is a deraisa, kolema, toksiv dibaratu b'mashivtach v'veisecha, koya parsha zu gufa. That's going on this parsha of Shema. Shechayev ledaber bo b'shas shchivu me'amida. You've got to say it when you go to bed and when you get up in the morning. Kriya Shema in the morning, Kriya Shema at night. Ulefichach im nestapik im korei lav, chayev lachzav v'likros kachol sveika deraisa. If you're not sure whether you said Kriya Shema, you've got to err on the side of caution and say it. So you've got in Gimel, umevarich. The Chayra says the Mishnah Berurah calls it dafka b'sheloi ova zman krishma. This is presumably talking whether zman krishma has not yet passed. Avol ba'ovar zman shel gimel shoyos. But if you're past the 3 hours, which is the zman krishma, shuv eina mevarich, you don't make a bracha again. Lo lefonei v'lo lachara, not before nor afterwards. Machmas sofik. The sula havis feikas rabbanon, because now you're beyond the time and therefore there's no sofik anymore. Avol zeh einoi the bizman zechiras yitzias mitzrayim. Because in the third paragraph of Shema, you're fulfilling the mitzvah Zechiras Yitzias Mitzrayim, and that goes on the whole day. Which is the bracha afterwards, then you should certainly do ad sharaviyas, but beyond that, Chazal will not masak in the bracha of emes v'yatziv. Avol yoyim machmas sofek is a pasuk she's in Mitzrayim. Like I said before, the mitzvah zechiras yetzias Mitzrayim hasn't got the same limitations of Kriya Shema, which is Gimel Shoyos, or Tefillah, which is Dalet Shoyos. That applies the whole day, and therefore, if you're not sure whether you said Shema, okay, beyond the time then you've missed the time. But when it comes to Zechiras Yetzias Mitzrayim, that's the whole day, and therefore you should say some sort of pasuk to remember to be Mekayim the mitzvah Zechiras Yetzias Mitzrayim. Issa bebrachas daf yud gimel amud beis shemama halacha shemuzka b'yitzias Mitzrayim yotzi de mitzvah seif shel zechira. Even saying halacha about Zechiras Mitzrayim would help. V'chos v'mogen Avram v'nirli to kolshkenim oma shiras hayom de yotza. The Mogen Avram says that to fulfill your mitzvah of Zechiras Yetzias Mitzrayim, you can say shiras hayam. The Chasam Sofer paligazeh. The Chasam Sofer argues and says no. The bekroksiv leman tiskar es yoim seischa, i.e. It's not good enough to say that we came through the Yam Suf. You've got to say that we came out of Mitzrayim. And just saying Shira is talking about going through the Yam Suf. It doesn't actually mention we came out of Mitzrayim. Now, interesting. Can you just think the mitzvah? We fulfill the mitzvah by saying the words. What if you're not sure and you want to say it again? Can you just think it? Is that enough? I am a bear hater for Shema Beis Yaakov or Prima God in Mistafik Bazeh. They're not sure. Or B'Shagas Ari Simon Yud Gimel Herech Lechiach Mishas Masik De'ena Yotzi Dechova Behiro. Just thinking it is not enough. You've got to actually say something. Or Pasha B'Gemara Degam B'Layla Tzorech Lahas Gitzias Rhyme. At night time as well, you've got to say it. If I am a Prima Godim, the Mistapik Imu Deraisa Drabonan. He's not sure whether the night time is Deraisa Drabonan. The Nafkamin in Seif Sveika, and the Nafkamin, of course, will be a Sofik. Ein Shom. The B'Shagas Ari Simon Ches Kosov Behedja do the Raisa that night time is Zechiras Yisrael is Min HaTorah. V'chayiv lahaski b'zman shulayla v'adai v'lo kodim, and therefore you've got to say it at night time and not before. So if we daven mincha marav early and you said Shema at night time, not only do you have to repeat the Shema, but you also have to fulfill the mitzvah of Zechiras Yitzias Mitzrayim, and therefore to have it in mind when you do it again later at night in the third paragraph. And in fact, we saw before in the Art Scroll Sidurim. In the actual text of the third paragraph of Shema, it says this just before it says it says have in mind to fulfill the mitzvah of Zechiras Yitzias Mitzrayim. So one should have that in mind both in the morning and the night time. Like I just said, if we daven marav early, lo yotzi dechav, you haven't fulfilled your mitzvah of saying Shema or Zechiras Yitzias Mitzrayim at night time. To ben hashmoshes sveiku v'sveika deraisa lechumra, and therefore you got to say it again. V'chein mashma me'aram perek aleph me'ilchas krishma to deraisa k'meshikos aprima godim ba'atzmai. Okay, so then we said if you're not sure, said the Mechaber, whether you said Shema, you got to say it again. But not only just said again, with the brachas before and afterwards. Says the Mishnah Berurah, you've got the after brachas. Afagav the harbe poskim saving the parsha rishayna hu midaraisa, vashni hu midrabanan. Even though many poskim say that only the first paragraph of Shema is deraisa. but the rest is drabonon. V'yesh min haposkim shosevim d'rak pasuk rishnu d'raisa. Just the first pasuk of Shema is d'raisa. V'chol sheken habrachas, and how much more so the brachas l'kula alma hu midrabonon. So how come over here the Mechaber tells us that you've got to repeat the brachas of Kriya Shema? That was how Chazal were masakin it. Shekolzman shekorin, that every time you read Kriya Shema, chayev likros k'ikar takana berchasel. You got to do it properly, i.e. with the brachas before and the brachas afterwards. Unless they said otherwise explicitly. Which I think talks about someone who's terosoi nosoi. There are some exceptions to it. Einsham. V'lechora, im yodea she'oma posuk rishon, or parsha rishona, l'chol echol merdeas. If a person knows that they said the first posuk or the first paragraph according to the opinions which say that they have fulfilled the mitzvah, v'sofik le'em kara hashayin, you're just masupik whether you did the rest. Ein tzorich lachzor v'likros. Miu b'simen samach dalet sif gimel dalet masham l'shetzorich lachzor. The tzorich le'em d'meikara kein tichnu sheyachzor. Okay. V'heicha she'u masupik lo imam parsha sitzis. If a person is not sure whether he said Parsha of Sitzis, v'gam emes v'yatziv, tzorich lachzor l'kulama. For sure, you got to go back and do it again. Because that you've got to do. Ach yesh deis b'zeh, d'yesh om d'yem Parsha Sitzis v'gam emes v'yatziv. What does it mean? Do you do the whole thing? Do you do the third paragraph and emes v'yatziv? The kula chad milsi. It's all one package. V'yesh omrim d'yem Orach Parsha Sitzis. You just say the third paragraph of Shema. There's a debate about that. If this suffix arose in the evening, very interesting. In a situation, if the doubt arose in the evening, you say emes ve'emunah, but not the third paragraph of Shema. Now why? So take a look at paragraph 13. Of a tam hadova, the reason is this, very geshmak. Because mistapik ba'arvis, if you're masupik in the evening, yom Orach in berachas emes v'emunah, ve'ilu because mistapik shachris yom Orach in parsha sitzis. Why? Kosav b'shad is shuva shagas aryeh, shebeshachris kashem in parsha sitzis, harim mekayim b'zeh shnei devarim. You're doing two things, Zechiras Yisrael and Zechiras Mitzvah Sitzis, which only applies in daytime. V'lochein ein tzorich lachzor gam al emes v'yatziv. Aval ba'arvis she'oz ein chayiv mitzvah sitzis. There's no chiyuv sitzis in the night. Mekayim b'kriyas parsha sitzis rak es mitzvah Zechiras Yisrael. By saying the third paragraph, you're only being mekayim the mitzvah of sitzis, of Zechiras sitzis. V'ilu b'emes v'emunah mekayim gam Zechiras Yisrael v'gam birchas Kriya Shema. So therefore, if you're masubik, say the bracha of emes v'emunah and not the third paragraph. Okay. If you for sure said all three paragraphs, you don't have to say the after bracha. The given she'am parsha is because if you know for sure you said sitzis, you're okay. Good. Okay. Just to finish, we said avalim yodea shekar. If, however, said the Mechaber, you said Shema, but you just can't remember whether you said the brachas. Einach is a mevarech. Says the Mishnah Berurah Sif Kotten Hey. Desu havelei drabonon afilu berkas emes v'yatziv usveika lekula. Fine. V'im yodea she'am emes v'yatziv. Ve'ina zoicher mikara krishma. Yeah, real mess. Yeah, I remembered I said the brachas afterwards, but I can't remember if I said krishma. The guys are very tired. Da'asa Eli Rabbi de'ena chayzeh. The Eli Rabbi says you don't go back. V'gam raya melel siman siftalet v'ayim prima godim. Okay, we'll say that. Fine, we'll leave it there.